Good afternoon. Welcome to the show. Glad to have our friends here again. Welcome, guys, to let me mute Pajay. Pajay interfering real quick. Welcome, guys, to Pitch Points, an ABL fan zone. Here, we're going to talk about a lot this afternoon. Over here in the US, it's about 2 o'clock. I know the game is in 40 minutes, England, Italy, so we're going to try to make it wrap it up within the next 30 minutes or so we can have a good time. With me, I have two of my best Chelsea friends, two guys that I really respect. I enjoy talking to. They're Chelsea fans, but that's regardless. We're all still blues in a way, dark and light blue. Mm-hmm. So I have here with me, Pajay. Welcome, man.
Thanks for having me, Carl. Thank you so much.
Yes, so. And thanks for joining from the car. I know you're in the car, so you'll be in and out, but we're glad to have you here. And also with me, I have a very good friend of mine, Mr. Ty Akimboni. Ty, welcome, man.
Hello, everybody. Hey, Charlie, I see you. How you guys doing?
Hey, Charlie. How are you, man? Good to. Charlie's always on. Yeah, Charlie's so consistent. We had to give him a gift card for his consistency last.
Oh, nice, nice.
We had to give him send him a gift card. Hopefully, Patrick will join us as well. Patrick is supposed to join us on the show here, but we just want to make this a conversation, Ty and Pajay, about the transfer window. It opened yesterday, Friday, June 10th. And it's going to be open for the next 2 or 3 months. And even before the window opens, Seth, we were hearing all kinds of rumors and madness that was happening. As I come to you, Pajay and Ty, I want to let's talk about how you feel about this new ownership taking over. The fact that Roman has now gone. I know you guys were sentimental towards him, and he did some great things for your club. But now that you have a new owner in, how do you feel about that, Pajay and Ty?
Pajay, you want me to go first?
Yeah, you go first. Yeah.
All right. First of all, I want to say thank you to Mr. Roman Abramovich because he's a very, very unique owner. I think he's a football fan first. If you go back to the story, Chelsea wasn't a first club that he wanted to buy, but the first club he wanted to buy didn't work out. On his way out, he ended up, being that he ended up having to buy Chelsea because Chelsea was in financial trouble about 15 years ago, and he ended up picking up the team and not only make changes as far as spending a lot of his own personal money to improve the club, but also the community. People don't talk about that a lot, about what he did in the community to rebuild West London. I mean, nobody's perfect. Of course, how he made his money, that's none of my business. Nobody really know how a lot of these owners make their money. So first of all, I mean, he did a great job. So that's my thing. That's the first thing I want to say. And number two, the new owners, we don't know how they make their money. So I'm glad as far as I know, I'm happy that we have a new owner. We can finally spend money. We can talk about transfer. And the only major casualty out of this whole situation of not being able to spend money on negotiating contract is Rudiger. In my own opinion, I wish he could have stayed. He's one of my favorite players at the club. I love him because he has a center back mentality, but unfortunately, I look at it as the only casualty, thanks to Lampard not liking him, but he's the only casualty out of this whole debacle. So now that we are able to spend money and he's pledged about 200 million in his first year in the transfer window to be able to get players. So Tuchel can finally build a team. And this is, people forget, this is the first time that we've had a coach 3 years in a row for a very, very long time. This is the first time we can actually have a coach can build his own team, not necessarily from the scratch because he has a lot of good pieces, like Mason Mount, Kai, and a bunch of guys that he can build around. But we're in a good situation. I think we're now in a good situation to challenge City, to challenge Liverpool in a true challenge where the gap of 10 points at the end of the season, it won't be there. It will be closer than it used to be. So that's just a quick summarize of how I feel about this new ownership.
So you feel optimistic, you feel confident, and like I said, Tally, I said before, and I think I've been on many Chelsea channels with our friend Abdullahi, who's a Chelsea fan. Lots of Chelsea fans come on. It's a great channel, by the way. You guys should follow him.
Yeah, I've always
said that. I believe that Chelsea need a fresh break. You cannot be living off Roman the way Roman used to kind of fund the club. It's just not sustainable over long term. You got to figure out a different way to do that. Chelsea's commercial should be much, much higher than anybody else because you've won the Champions League twice, you've won the Premier League many, many times. You're in London, you have that market global. The commercial should be way above everybody else. But because Roman is there and he gives you cash, there isn't that incentive to go and build the commercials to that rate. But now that you have the new owner as Page, that should all change, right? I mean, how do you feel about it?
Yeah, I mean, that's what happens. That's what you get when good or bad, both sides of the coin, when you have one owner as opposed to having a board. But in the other flip side of it, I mean, Chelsea is the kind of club that you just never know what's going to happen, what you're going to get, but it always turns out somehow miraculously for the good. So despite all these other dark clouds that have, hung over the club in the last few months, we now see a change in policy. For the first time, I feel like as long as Thomas Tuchel gets it right, we have a chance to have a long-term coach without the fear of, when the owner walks into the dressing room or he comes to the training ground, everybody should start getting nervous. That's going to go because the shelf life of the average Chelsea coach is typically about 3 years. I feel like if this guy is allowed to build something and he sees success and he feels at home, we have a chance to have a coach that is going to be there for 4, 5, 6, 10 years, maybe, and build a legacy.
Yeah.
So that's one side of the coin. The other side is now it's not going to be about an owner picking for the coach. There's a very huge sentiment that Lukaku, for instance, was not a Tuchel buy. It was a sentimental Roman buy. It was the same for Torres. It was the same for other players. But now, what I'm gathering is that sales is going to be, player purchases will be heavily influenced by who Tuchel wants. And that's how it is with City. That's how it is with Klopp. There's no more, Roman wants to buy this guy because Naim Paddy. No, now it's going to be, this is what the coach is going to be the one to pick the pieces. So as long as it makes economic sense and all that, Then thirdly, like what happened with Rudiger, for instance, I feel like that should have been sorted even before this whole issue came about. As you won the Champions League, bam. You see, it's like 2 years left on the contract. Let's lock this thing down. And somehow because Maria was there, and I know that she's done a good job for most part, and everybody has their own marketing tactic, and she likes to strong arm and get her way and all that. Nobody knew Putin was going to do what he did, and that threw the monkey wrench into the whole thing. Because if not for that, I think Rudiger would have still been a Chelsea player until now. So, that's a lesson for Chelsea, and going forward, we're going to have our contracts done different. So long term, I'm optimistic. Of course, I hope these guys don't do like whoever did to Man U, where the money's been taken out to fund other things.
Yeah.
I'm optimistic as a Chelsea fan. I feel like, it was dark. Now we're going to see some morning, and we're going to see some sunshine.
Yeah, people ask, we're like, why is Carl why is he so optimistic about Chelsea Football Club and even United, Seth, even Tottenham? I'm talking to Ty, about the fact that I like what Conte is doing. And I think that Tottenham will be a threat next season. Why am I so pro non-City? It's because I just believe that we want a more competitive Premier League. Okay, we don't want a case where it's City and Liverpool winning by 15, 20 points every season. I'd like that to happen every season. Let us win. But you want to go to the point where, within the last 3 or 4 games of the season, it's down to 3 points. And then it's every game now counts as much. Not a case where, when we go to X to a club, Leeds United is going to be 4 or 5. When Liverpool go to Wolves, it's going to be 3 or 1. After the first goal, they're down. We want it to be more competitive. And so that's why I think it's good that for the Premier League to have, Chelsea refresh, a United refresh, City going out for Erling Haaland, Liverpool not going for Darwin Núñez, and then coming to you guys. Who are you guys losing, and then who's coming in? Who are you heard that's coming in, and who do you want to come in to fill those spots that your defensive players are going? I know Christensen's gone, and Rudiger's going to go. Or is gone. Aspi or Alonso, I think they may be going. Lukaku may be going. Who are you guys looking at to come in the transfer window?
Okay, so for me, I'll start from the top. So Barcelona has financial issues. Even though Lewandowski's heart is set on Barcelona, but if it's not financially feasible, give me Lewandowski. Lukaku can go. Even for 2 years, striker like that, give Lewandowski, I'm good. Rudiger is gone. If we get Koulibaly, fantastic replacement. Boom. In terms of midfielder, we get rid of Saul and all those guys, and I don't know about how much that is, but hopefully no more than 65 million or whatever.
Ajay, or Rice. This matter of Declan Rice. Ty, it's too expensive. What do you want you? Kilo day? What? How come? I mean, 150 million for Declan Rice?
No. They're not gonna get 150 million. For who died? Our budget is our purse is 200.
I think they're talking 80 now, and Chelsea is at 75 at the most. Because it's an English player, so it's gonna cost more than it's gonna get. You have to pay premium. Right?
A premium, yeah. But no, the 115 are just to do gragra, the initial gragra.
The funny thing about Declan Rice, and Ty, please check this out on Google for me, right? So I did some research on this guy, right? And you know what his salary is? You don't believe what his salary is. I don't believe it. It's out there, like 20K a week or something ridiculous.
Yeah. I think I sent it to you one time. It was very low. But again, that's his first or second salary, right? So most English players, when they first, same thing, Sterling went through the same scenario. When they first turn pro, their first salary is maybe 15, and most of them go pro as a teenager. I'm talking about 17, 18, 19, when they sign their first contract. By the time they sign their second contract, they're usually at 25. Look at Saka. Saka was at 25 until other clubs shows interest, and then they bump them out to 50. So he's here on that first salary. Now his next one is going to be nothing less than 100. Right? Now, who's going to pay that?
That's
right?
the question.
And this is where I think West Ham are making a mistake, because if he's smart, and I know he has agent, and if his agent are smart, if the asking transfer fee is too much, wait it out. He only has a year left.
Exactly.
So wait it out, and then next year I can, Chelsea can say, okay, next year you come for free, and instead of paying you 100 a week, I'll pay you 200, because that transfer fee, I'll make it up for you in salary. So West Ham need to be smart and just let him go. If they can get 70 for him right now, or 75 at the most, let him go. Take that 75, and that will pay your whole salary for the whole club.
The problem, Ty, I think the problem is that West Ham they're being sentimental. They think this kid is going to stay there and become the next West Ham captain forever. And so there's this feel that somehow, because it's me, West Ham, and Mark Noble is retiring, this guy is going to stay and become another Mr. West Ham. The reality is that the kid wants to win trophies. That's the reality. He wants to win trophies. And frankly, while West Ham are a great club, good history, all that stuff, the reality is ain't winning nothing very soon.
So Kane has shown English players that you don't make that mistake, right? I think Kane may get away with it because now he has content to bail him out. But look at Grealish, right? Grealish is Aston Villa boy. Yeah. But he left 1 year. Now he's parting with a trophy just after 1 year. So any youth English club, don't be attached to a club, right? I tell people, like, I'm a big time DC United fan. My son played for this United Academy, but I'm not attached to it. When the better opportunity come, I'm gone. I would still be a fan for life, but his career is not attached to the club, and players need to understand that. But to answer your question, I'm going to start from the back, right? Right now, goalkeeper. We don't need two goalkeepers. We don't need we don't need to buy goalkeepers. We have 2 outstanding goalkeepers, right? If
Yeah.
we can keep them, and if we can't keep them, I know Mendy will stay. We just need to increase Mendy's salary, and the other one can go. I can't even remember his name, but anyway,
Kepa.
Kepa, yeah, Kepa can go, and we can get a backup keeper. Defenders is what we really need. So Chelsea, I think we're gonna sign Julius Koundé, right? I think Koundé is coming for sure. That's
Koundé.
almost a guarantee.
Yeah.
They're gonna, do whatever it takes to get him. And I also finally I kind of want Koulibaly. Yes, he's 30. He's about to be 31. Initially, I didn't. Kyle, we talked about this 2-3 years ago. I didn't want him.
Yeah.
But Chelsea brought in like Thiago Silva. I'll be the first one to tell you I made a wrong call on Silva. Initially, I didn't want Thiago Silva because of his age, only because of his age. And coming to EPL, to deal with high-paced physical strikers, I didn't think he would be able to hang. But Silva has proven that, hey, if you know your stuff, you can do it. So imagine having Koulibaly, Koundé, and Thiago Silva as that back three in a Champions League game. That's a lot of experience. And whatever they lack physically, you can make it up. With Conte, and then we have this guy from Crystal Palace that we loaned to Crystal Palace, Gallagher, that's coming back.
Gallagher.
So yeah, so no, like Page said, the guy from Atletico, he's gone.
I wouldn't guess.
Then Jorginho can go. Barcelona can take him. I know Barcelona wants 3 players. They want Alonso, Jorginho, and Aspi. I'm not Aspi. Christensen. Christensen can go. I never.
Anyway, have him.
Yeah, so that's a done deal. They can have Jorginho. Jorginho can go. Or go to Sarri. Sarri is looking for somebody. He could go back to his stepfather. And I'm joking, but he can go back to Sarri. Love Sarri. The biggest problem we have is up front, right? I mean, after you solve the defenders issue, the next one is up front. Personally, I kind of want to keep Lukaku and give him one more chance. But if Lukaku really, really wants to go that bad and Tuchel wants him gone, then let's loan him back to Inter, because that's the only club that really wants him now. So we can do a loan deal where he goes there. They take off his salary. He said he's willing to take a pay cut to go to Inter. And then, like Pajay said, we can get Lewandowski and give him 3 years. I think he will perform. Barcelona, he wants to go to Barcelona, but I don't think Barcelona can buy him. They're in massive debt where they're loaning out their stadium for weddings and parties. Kyle, when is your birthday? Go to your birthday at the capital.
Next week. So Patrick's birthday is tomorrow. So I recommend that. Yeah. We need to call FC Barcelona, because Patrick, we want to have a big party.
Allow Barcelona, Kakao. Allow Barcelona.
At the new camp, for a fact, we'll pay the rent for the whole field. You can have the whole party there. Patrick, welcome to the show.
Sorry, I actually thought it was something. Just told me it was 7:30, so I started cooking for my daughter, and I was busy. Streaming games. No, it's not your problem. It's my fault. I got excited. Streaming games. Cooking for my daughter, and then I was like, you know what? I think let me just see when I saw the text, I was like, look, just talking about what Ty is saying, I think Lukaku wants to go, and keeping Lukaku is a mistake, and I think you should loan him back to Inter. It looks like it's going to be tough for you guys. You're going to have to take a loss on Lukaku, which is sad. The thing about Lukaku, why I don't rate him now, is it looks like when things are difficult, he runs away to the safety net. That's what it seems. But now you only have got Thiago Silva as the senior defender, because Christensen is going, Rudiger is gone. Azpilicueta, if I'm not wrong, wants to also go to Barcelona. Alonso also wants to go to work for Barcelona. So you guys are going to have to rebuild, because you also have to remember, Ty, I don't know how you feel, but your fan base keeps saying Kante and Jorginho are regressing, like they're not doing well anymore, they're not as good as they were. They're actually declining right now as we speak. I don't know if that's true, but they say Kante and Jorginho are not who they used to be. Kovacic, you cannot rely on him because he gets injured. You're talking about Timo Werner. Timo Werner hasn't been successful. I like Timo Werner, but I don't know if he's going to succeed. Kai Havertz is the only one that looks a bit of hope. Some of the Chelsea fans say Kai Havertz might get a Ballon d'Or in the future. I don't know what sort of Ballon d'Or we're talking about. But Mason Mount is a good player. Ziyech doesn't want to be there. It looks like he doesn't want to be there. Are you going to send him to United because Ten Hag is killing back all his kids? I don't know. Your team seems to be everywhere. Is Kepa going to stay? Is he going to continue being a 70 million keeper on the bench? So I don't know what rebuild you're going to have. I don't know what I missed, but I think you guys have got so much on your hands. Chilwell can stay fit. Now James needs somebody else to sub with him. Madrid have been poking at James. So Ty, what's going to go on? Because it looks like a majority of your team is shaky, especially the defense. Because Azpilicueta goes to Barcelona and Alonso it succeeds. Who's going to be there?
So again, I said this earlier. Outside of the three, Alonso, Christensen, Jorginho can go. The rest are staying. They have no choice. Timo is going to stay. He's not going anywhere, right? We have Emerson Palmieri that's coming back in to take his place, and then hopefully we can get Julius Koundé in the back to take that Rudiger position in the back. And then if we get Koulibaly, then we say the problem is not as big as the fans are making it, right? So Tuchel can really, really build his team around the guys that we have right now. It's only 3 or 4 guys that are leaving that play significant amount of minutes. The rest don't really, really count, to be honest with you. James is not going anywhere. Let's be real. Who's going to take Timo? We already have Timo. We stuck with him. We'll give him another year. So Lukaku may leave, and I think he should leave, because if you don't want to be here, we don't really want you, right? And anybody will tell you I'm a big Lukaku fan. But if you don't want to be in my team, I think Timo wants to win. Yeah. Go ahead.
I mean, I want to go to Vader real quick, but my opinion on Lukaku, he has to leave. He has to leave. And the reason he has to leave is because that interview he did, from that day of that interview he did, that crazy interview he did, everything has gone downhill from there. Yeah. Clay doesn't want to be there. The fans don't really like him. I think you guys need to do whatever you can do to get Robert Lewandowski. I mean, Vader, what do you think Chelsea needs to do? And then which other player out there are you excited about for any club, whether it's Liverpool, City, or any other club? Vader, and then Ade, real quick.
Yeah, I mean, I'm remembering what Chelsea fans were talking about before the season even concluded, and I thought a lot of the wants was obviously someone to deliver goals, but they were also looking for a creative midfielder. I thought there was a big emphasis that they need someone to, hopefully that noise doesn't bother you guys, but they were looking to get a player to tie things together creatively. So I think that's still a need. It's a huge need for what you guys want. And I agree with you guys, Carl. I agree with what Patrick was saying for Lukaku. I think the player tried to preemptively put in the reasons to why he wasn't succeeding, right? I think that interview he tried to say, hey, I showed up here and I'm realizing that I'm the $100 million man and things aren't really being catered to me. So let me make sure I put all these excuses out and set up what's next for me. And then also he wasn't delivering. So he kind of had the excuse there. He needs out because of that interview. He needs out because obviously he doesn't fit. It doesn't fit. And the players themselves, the surrounding players themselves weren't looking to make him fit. They weren't trying to make him be the leading goal scorer for that squad. So he needs to get out of there. And the loan move that you're talking about makes a lot of business sense. Lewandowski, everybody wants him. I'm curious to hear why. What would be the decision? What could lure him to Chelsea? What could get him to go there? I don't know.
Well, I mean, hasn't Lewandowski burnt his bridge at Bayern? I think it's over, man. I mean, didn't he say, "I'm done. The chapter's finished. It's closed. Nothing more to do"?
Yeah, he keeps saying that. For me and this club, we need to find a solution because I don't think we're going to continue together. So, excuse me, he's openly twerking for Barcelona apparently, and his agent is openly putting it out there. So, look, the twerking he's doing Lewandowski right now is like, look, fair play to him because Harry Kane should have done the same thing, I believe. But I think he wants to go, and he's pushing. And Fab says that Lewandowski wants to go, but I think anybody can turn his head because don't forget that Barcelona, for them they can't even register Christensen and Kessie. They have to sell Frankie de Jong. That's why United should be smart. It's not United who are desperate. I know that United are the ones proving to look desperate, but it's actually Barcelona that need to get rid of Dembele and Frankie de Jong. Trust me, if United go to the end of the season with just that 80 without increasing, they will take it because they want to register Kessie and Frankie de Jong. So Chelsea maybe should start whispering into Lewandowski's ear, as Ty said. I don't know what Adi thinks. How you doing, Adi?
I'm good. How are you guys, man? Sorry, I was exercising, man, so I'm catching up right now.
What have you heard so far, Adi, about transfers like Lewandowski to potentially buy in, Barcelona or Chelsea, and all the other stuff we're kind of hearing? You've heard about Calvin Phillips, Cucurella. What are you excited about in this season? Looking forward in transfer window that opened yesterday. What are you looking for?
I mean, there's a lot to be excited for. I mean, my team personally, Man City, I think, if we can get a left back, that'd be nice. So I know there's a talk about Cucurella, and, if he can come to City, or Calvin Phillips, that'll be good. I think a lot of teams also, Spurs are doing a lot of good things with Perseverance. I don't know if you guys have talked about that yet. Yeah. Chelsea, I don't think Chelsea has really made any moves yet. I would think Chelsea, if Lukaku is talking about leaving, they should be the ones in the forefront going after Lewandowski.
I agree.
That's what I would think. Yeah. Because they seem like he's on the outs. Even if he's not in the outs, it's going to be a difficult situation, for him to continue on there, being that he was kind of frozen out of the team because he wasn't really giving them what they wanted. So I would think they should be going for Lewandowski, but apparently he keeps saying he wants to go to Barcelona. So, I don't know how that's going to turn out, but I think Nunez Liverpool signing is going to be good. I don't think it's a like for like replacement for Mane, but I think he's going to give them something different. So that's a good. That's a good one, and everybody knows about Haaland, so I'm not gonna keep talking about that.
Yeah, coming to Paje real quick. So let me explain what's going on. So everybody thinks that Barcelona have this loan that they got from outside, from outside. Let me just explain what's going on. Okay, so Barcelona have a debt of, I think, 1.2 or 1.3 billion dollar debt right now that they have. See, there are two kinds of debt.
Wait, 1 point what?
1.2, 1.3 billion dollars in debt. Barcelona.
You said that like that was nothing. Like
billion would have been
like it was changed.
But billion. But there's a problem, right? So the debt that they have, unfortunately, is what they call short-term debt, which means it's due this year, and they don't have any money. So the money they're getting, the loan they're getting, is not for players, right? It's to refinance a portion of the long-term debt of the short-term debt to be long-term debt. So instead of having your loans due this year, the big push this year, you now have that over 30 years, which is more manageable. Kind of like you go to you have a car note that's due, you don't have money, you refinance that car loan again, not just for this year, but also for the next 10 years. You spread out the loans at a better interest rate. That's what the money is for. That's why they cannot register Christensen. They cannot register Frank Kessie, because they have to get rid of players in order to create space on the wage bill. So this idea of them going for Lewandowski, for me, is a pipe dream, or going for Bernardo Silva is a dream. It ain't going to happen. That's why Chelsea need to put pressure on Lewandowski to bring him in and send Lukaku on loan to Inter Milan. Veta and Paje, Darwin Nunez. Does that name threaten you? Do you feel threatened by that name for Liverpool? How do you guys feel about that? And also, Ty, come around to this, and Patrick. Darwin going to Liverpool. Vader.
So sorry, connected for a little bit.
When you heard that Darwin Nunez is going to Liverpool for what? Patrick, is it 100 million euros?
Yeah, it's going to be 80 million plus 20 million in add-ons and stuff. So it's going to be 100 million.
I thought they would spend champions. I didn't know.
When I heard the news, the troll in me tweeted that this is Liverpool's Jack Grealish. The troll in me just tweeted that. And the thing is, I'm not going to diss the player. I don't know enough of him to say whether it's bad or not. I do find it interesting, though, that FSG and Klopp, how they're strategizing, sees it more important to go and get Darwin Nunez than it is to look and retain the quality of a Mane, right? And I think maybe a large part of that is because Mane hasn't been happy there because he hasn't been compensated properly while he's been there. I think they've kind of burnt that bridge. He wants to move on. But Nunez as a talent, again, I'm going to have to say, let's wait and see. all these comparisons to be, oh, he should be considered in the same grouping as what our man Haaland has done, or the projection for Haaland. I find it a little comical, but I'll let them run with it because the receipts can be collected next season and the season after that. But I guess it's the diamond in the rough that Klopp and Liverpool tend to do. So big business. Let's put it to rest that Liverpool don't spend, because they do spend. And as a talent, I'm not losing any sleep over it. The fact that Manchester United were close to or looking to get him as well, and we've seen their track record with regards to assessing or determining talent. I'm not losing any sleep with this Nunez signing.
Ty and Ade, coming to you real quick, next couple of minutes. Tottenham Hotspur, Antonio Conte. Two things. Number one, are you worried about this guy with Tottenham? And two, we are hearing rumors that maybe Jesus may be going to Tottenham. How do you feel about that? Right, for Conte, and also this rumor about Jesus potentially going to Tottenham.
So,
Ty?
real quick, Darwin Núñez, I want to touch on that. I think it's a risky move for Liverpool. I agree with what Vedo said. You have Mane. Why are you doing this? Why don't you just pay Mane and save your 80 million or 100 million, whatever you say, and it's good. But if they're getting this guy, that means Mane is gone. He's got to go, to Bayern Munich or somewhere, right? So that's my opinion on that. And he's not proven like Mane is proven. But hey, you want to take that risk to rebuild? Because I feel like Liverpool is trying to silently rebuild by bringing in Diaz last year and then Jota. Now this guy, they're going somewhere that I don't know what their secret plan is. But hey, I can't knock it. Do what's best for your club, or what you think is best for your club. Right. Conte,
wait. Am I off the? Am I off the? Am I off? I'm not on mute, isn't it? Yeah. Can you share that, please?
Okay.
Carl, can you share that, please, for a minute? Because I'm going to speak to Liverpool fans. So can anybody? Can we all see that, right? So basically, right? Yeah, Liverpool fans were hyping Núñez, saying we have done a better deal than you. I'm going to be petty. Adi will not be petty. Vedo will not be petty, but I'll be petty on behalf of everybody. Look at those stats, and you guys, this Darwin Núñez guy, I've watched him. He's a fraud. Look at that international goals. He's got 2. He failed to score against USA's defense. USA's defense is easy to score against. This guy failed so many times. This guy hits the post so many times. So look at him in the Champions League. They were saying that Darwin Núñez is going to perform better than Haaland in the Champions League. Look at him in the Champions League. He's played 10 games, 6 goals. So let's not forget that Haaland was playing for Salzburg. So if you come here and say, oh, but he's playing for Benfica, Dortmund are different. Okay, let's bring in Salzburg. Even if we bring it to Salzburg, Haaland was banging in better goals than Núñez. This is what Liverpool fans do. Núñez was somebody, majority of the Liverpool fans were dissing when United was after him. They were saying, oh, he's not that good. But now, guess what, Ty? He's already moved from just being one of those strikers, and now apparently he's world class because he's just gone to Liverpool. So look at those stats. So why would you compare Núñez to Haaland? You guys are making a mistake. I'm sorry. He might end up banging goals, maybe. It might happen. But he's had one season at Benfica. Do you know the other season he had, in Segunda? That's where he had. Núñez was in Segunda, in the Segunda division. That's where he banged in goals. But he's had a very bad season last season. Then this season, he's had a good season, but not even that great. Do you know who's better than him? Even Silva, who's at Leverkusen. That guy is banging better goals. What's going to happen with these guys?
Andre Silva.
Yeah, you know what's going to happen, guys. I'm going to have somebody might clip me, but I'm going to tell you this now. This guy is not the best. The thing about it is we are starving for strikers. Let's be honest. This generation, we're starving for strikers, for number 9s. Now, when we sold people like Núñez for 100 million, we are twerking for them. Just watch. I'd rather keep Mane. If it was me, I'd rather keep Mane. It's good they bought Núñez. For me as a rival, I'm happy you brought in Núñez. Anyway, that's what I wanted to tell them, because
somebody, Blue Chan, said it's simple. Mane doesn't want to stay. So I don't think it's him not wanting to stay. It's the fact that he doesn't like the way he's being treated as a second class to Salah.
Amen.
But I'm not a Liverpool fan. It is what it is.
I think you're right. I think the problem with Mane has always been he disrespect And it's hard because we have Salah is the icon of the club, right? The most recent icon of the club. You can't have two icons, which is why Mbappe and Haaland never worked at Real Madrid, because you can't have two of them there. They both have big egos. One's going to get upset, and that's what happens. Unfortunately, Mbappe didn't go to Real Madrid either, but it is what it is. But I want to go back to Tottenham Hotspur. I've been telling Ty this Ade and Beta about, I worry about Antonio Conte. That Tottenham side are a dangerous side.
They got it right back, didn't they? They got it right back from Middlesbrough.
Right.
Spencer or Spink, or whatever his name is.
We're going to slip on this guy. What do you guys think, Ade and Vader, about Tottenham Hotspur and Antonio Conte?
So, sorry, Kyle. I haven't even finished what I was saying about Conte before they go. Sorry, Ade, don't cut you off. You know I'm a Conte fan. Right? I've loved him before I even came to Chelsea the first time. So that's why I say, Man U fans, they have made a mistake by not getting Conte when they had the chance. You got to get the right guy, somebody who's passionate and who has fire for the game. Right, but they passed on him. So anyway, speaking of Tottenham and Conte, I think they're gonna be in that top 4 next year, some way, somehow. Because I don't see Arsenal and Man U doing better than Tottenham and Conte. Period. It also depends on who he gets. Because now, just like Tuchel, he gets to build his team, and they're gonna back him with some money. So when he gets to build his team, it's dangerous, and that's why I don't understand why Lukaku is now fighting to go to Conte. That's who got the best out of him. Why are you going back to Inter? You're looking for easy challenge. You don't want to work. You're scared of EPL. That's the way I feel about Lukaku right now. Lukaku should say, hey, Conte, loan me. You know what I'm saying? So I don't want to go on and on, but yes, Conte is next year, right now, I'm calling it, is in top 4. Sorry.
Yeah, I think Spurs are going to be good. I don't think they're going to be as good as everyone thinks. I think they're going to be in top 4, but I don't think they'll be competing for the title. I think they're missing something in the middle of the park. Their DM situation doesn't look solid, and they don't really have like creative players in the middle that can really do something. But they have the fullbacks seem to be coming together. They have the attacking. They can't keep using Kane as like a pseudo midfielder. Like, people are gonna catch on to that at some point. Like, they catch on to everything. So they gotta figure out what they want to do in the middle of the park. Like the attacking core, I think they got that together with Kane, and I think his name is I don't know how to say his name right. So I'm not gonna do it. Perisic. So they got that right. They got Son. They got the attacking. It's good, but I think they're missing something else. And I think Conte will figure it out. But they'll be a dangerous team. I think Liverpool will still be a dangerous team. I think just the same way Jota fit in with the club. We didn't really notice Jota that much with the Wolves, but when he came to Liverpool, they fit him in the right position and it worked out. I think they'll do the same thing with Nunez, and I think he'll be better than Jota. It's just that I don't know what Jota is going to do now if you have this guy playing in the middle. Like, is Jota going to be on the bench, or does he now play on the wing? So they need to figure that out. But Mane leaving, I think that bridge is already done. It's burnt because he felt significantly underpaid. They were paying him $100,000 a year. I mean, a week. Where superstars the like of
it is frozen
easily.
Okay.
So that's just, he's gone. I think he's gone, and Nunez is the replacement for him. I think all the teams are going to get stronger. I'm still waiting to see what Chelsea does, because I think Liverpool, Chelsea, City are still like the top dogs right now. So I got to see what Chelsea does to be able to form an opinion on how the season is going to go next year.
Vader and Patrick. So I'm seeing this discussion in the City Twitter fan base about Calvin Phillips. 60 million is too expensive. I mean, what's your opinion on this, real quick? Right? I mean, what do you think about this? Is he too expensive? Is he about the right price? What?
Vader, do you want to go first? Vader.
Yeah. This this is gonna sound terrible as a City fan. I don't care what it costs. Like, if he's valued, if we as fans are valuing him at one number, and the club or the leads that we're trying to get him off of have him valued at that amount, we either do it or we don't. But I don't care if they say 6 or if they say 40. With regards to the talent that he is, and we also understand that there's the English tax. So get the player for what he costs. He is a talent. We can't deny that. If he's overvalued, I really don't care, especially after a previous season of getting Grealish for 100 million. Like the valuation is the valuation. If he makes sense for the club, we'll make it work. And if he doesn't, we'll do good business and find out how to loan him or ship him out. Like, I don't stress too much about it. And one thing before I hand this over to Patrick, because it's actually driving me crazy, and maybe I'm going to sound mad old, but I hate how the transfer rumors and speculations right now, and how it's living online requires me to be a private eye. People are making up accounts that look legitimate and talking about transfers and acquisitions, and I'm getting all hyped up about it just to see that they put an underscore or they put a period at the end of their Twitter name, and it's a fraudulent account. I'm losing my mind this summer, man. Need to stop it.
Yeah, we've decoded that already. Patrick and I have figured out how to decode that, Patrick, right? We know which ones are frauds, which ones are actually real. Even the real ones.
Especially the frauds who like imitating Fab. Look, for me, sorry. I thought I just have the England game on low volume. I just subscribed.
We're gonna wrap up.
Yeah. No, I'm not gonna watch it. I don't care. I like, these guys are frauds anyway. Look, for me, at the end of the day, I knew this was going to happen, especially Calvin Phillips. And for us the time when we also made a mistake ourselves. This one is on City. This particular one is on Man City. This one, I know that all the time we always tell people, no, it's not us. Other people did it already. But the English one is on Man City. You know why? We started with John Stones, English tax, 50 with 250. Then we went to Walker 50. It's us on the English players that go there and just slap money and say, there you go. We want him. So Phillips is going. I knew Phillips was not going to go cheap. But the only thing that disappoints me is, I wish Phillips was younger than Rodri. Then I'd be more happier. I wouldn't care. Let's say if he was like 21 years old. I don't know if you agree with me. Like if he was 21 or young, and then his English is good, like that, he's an English player, but he's good. Then he's an upcoming. Then we spend the 60. I'll be like, you know what? When Rodri is done, at least we'll have Phillips. But they're all the same age. They're both the same age.
Yeah.
So I don't know. For me, the 60 is a bit much, but I don't know what else we're gonna do. I was expecting 50, not to go to 60 up to. But let's be honest, nobody has been told the amount yet. Let's not forget we were being told that Haaland is 75 million.
Right.
Found out it's 51. So I'm not yet 100% on Phillips saying it's going to be 60. Let's also not forget Cucurella started at 25 million. Now he went to 30, 35. Now apparently Cucurella is 55 million. So I'm not going to believe anything. But Phillips, I'm pretty sure is going to be expensive, because looking at him, he's playing for the English team and he's one of the first choice players already, and he's already a talent. So it's going to cost us a lot. But I'm telling you, Kyle, I hope he was 60 million, but younger than Rodri, not the same age as Rodri. I don't know. I don't.
Yeah, I mean,
if it was Nigerian, we could fix that age problem.
Exactly. let's wrap up with this. Let's wrap this up. I know there's a game going on right now. Talk about free agents. Okay, Paget, free agents who are out there. Pogba is free. Dybala is free. There are a number of free agents out there who are.
Isco is free. Gareth Bale is free.
The evergreen Isco is free. There are a couple of free agents out there that we heard who are free. Is there anyone that we think any of your clubs would like to buy or could buy? We'll start with Paget and we'll go around the room about the free agents. And if you don't want any, you can say no, none of them. Paget, any free agents out there?
None of the ones you've mentioned. You know, the only person I want that is close to probably free is Lewandowski. I think he has a year left or something they have to sell or whatever. Maybe it's free. That's the only one. Otherwise, Pogba, no. Dybala, I get worried about strikers that come from Italy. They seem to flop in the EPL. Defenders, goalkeepers, midfielders, maybe. But wingers and strikers, they can go elsewhere. Don't come to Chelsea, I beg.
Let me throw a stone in the works right here. What about Raheem Sterling? One year left. Chelsea.
Don't want him.
I don't think so, because I feel like we've seen his ceiling. And for the cost, because he's on high wages, we kind of know what he brings. I would prefer what's the boy that we're getting from, even though he has injury problems, but we feel like he's younger.
Yeah, Belly.
And there's a little bit of something to his game. Sterling, there's a reason why City are letting him go. Plus that boy's on like what, 200, 225, whatever.
Yeah, but there's also a reason why Dembele's been let go. He's hospital FC. So it's the same thing. Everybody has an issue.
We'll give him Agbo and Rob. Aboniki, but plus Tuchel wants him. So that's the other key there. It's a Tuchel buy.
Yeah.
If Tuchel says this is what I want, that's it. In terms of Jesus, Jesus is not free, so it's not part of the equation. But for me, that the only person I want that's free, or if I'm right, now Lewandowski. That's I'm pleased. Yeah, and you mentioned about Lukaku probably going to Tottenham if he was smart. That means that Harry Kane is going to keep having to drop back if Lukaku is going to play that front line.
All right.
But and one last thing on Conte. Conte is good. The only problem I had with Conte when he was at Chelsea was that when everybody else figured out that back three system, back five, there was no other answer. It's like I could tell once the keeper passes the ball out, I know who the ball is going to go to and what they're going to do. And if me,
Moses,
yeah, Moses, and then he will kick it into the middle, and then want what's his name, the French guy, to flick it back for somebody to run into. I'm not a coach. I can see that. So the coaches can see that. So it's like if Conte remains a one-trick pony, 2 seasons from now there's going to be a problem.
He doesn't last that long anyway in any club, right? Maybe.
Yeah, did you see that comment over there that says that he does well for 6 months, then blows up? And
that's what Horse 50 says. And Horsfield Martin says Conte does well for 18 months, then blows up and leaves. Once he doesn't get the money he wants, bang goes. Happened everywhere. Conte may not last the season.
But he's getting money here at
He's the only manager I worry about.
He's getting a lot of money.
Conte at Spurs. In terms of managers, I'm not worried about Tuchel. No disrespect to the guests on the panel, but it's Conte that I think that can jam things up just to get a result. I don't like. He's the one that's gonna ruin my Spurs games next year. I already know it. He's gonna play 8 at the back just to get a result.
Yeah.
Do you know what? I was laughing at one thing, because every time we call Raheem a fraud, or we say he's not good enough, like as you guys were saying that Raheem just did one of the best passes I've ever seen he's ever done to Mount, and Mount just hit the post. But anyway, all I want to say is Conte has been given money, so maybe this is the first time we'll see him with the money. You guys keep saying he's scary with money. Maybe he is, because he took points off Liverpool and City. So now he took off points while he had no money. And what I say is, I don't know if it was Ty or somebody said, Lukaku, if that's smart, after he could push for Spurs. That would be great. Imagine Lukaku and Harry Kane, and Kane starts dropping in and giving Lukaku chances. That would be a good.
That's a problem. That's a problem. Yeah. That is a massive problem for the Premier League team. If Lukaku goes to Spurs, we have a problem in our hands, guys. I'm telling you.
Lukaku is not going to go to Spurs, guys. Cut it out. Cut it out. Let's stop getting carried away. They're not going to have 2 strikers. No, Kane is not going to play midfield because one goal less Lukaku is coming from Chelsea. No, it ain't working out. No. Cut that conversation off. It's not going to happen.
Can I ask something? Sorry, Carl. Can I ask something to Ty? And is it Pa J? You guys as Chelsea fans, do you think you made a mistake sending Tammy Abraham away?
No.
Nope.
Nope. Not at all. His level is not APL level. That's the problem. Yep. Anybody can go to Italy and do well. The same Lukaku that we all bashing was a monster in Italy.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah,
but his first touch was still poor.
It's for the same kind of issue. Lukaku is even stronger than Tammy. And I like Tammy.
Tyler is 100% right again. Tammy ain't it. Tammy ain't it.
Yeah,
what I'm learning is that there are levels to this thing, man. This game,
mm-hmm.
And there's some there are levels, and if you're not at that level, you're not at that level.
That's right.
You can try, but you ain't at that level.
That's right.
And I think the reason why that time even had a look in at Chelsea was because of Lampard. Lampard was English player. I mean, how in the hell do you bring Tammy in? Was his first season in at Chelsea or second season, and you're gonna put Giroud on the bench for Tammy in Champions League? Like I wanted to enter
that was an insult.
I wanted to enter my TV and slap him.
Like we said, there's level to it. Lampard was not at that level. We all wanted him to be at that level because he's a Chelsea legend, including myself. But we found out that he's not at that level of the quality coaches, and we're seeing that right now.
Wait, Ty. Isn't he a City legend? Are you sure? Because
wait, New York City FC legend. Don't forget that.
Anyway, listen, I know the England game is going on right now, but the window opened yesterday. That's why we're having this conversation today. I expect that as we go through postseason, we're going to have another show when players are confirmed. We'll have another show and talk about where we are in terms of transfers and who's going where and what's been confirmed, not by frauds, by actual people. For me, I'm looking forward to seeing what we're going to do with Phillips and Cucurella. I think if we get those two players, I think we're good. Then let's see what happens with Jesus and Sterling. I think one is going to leave. Either Jesus or Sterling are going to leave. I think Sterling leaves to Barcelona. I think he's going to go. If Dembele goes, Sterling goes to Barcelona. They're going to figure him out. And I think Jesus, hopefully,
but Barcelona is Barcelona looking at Rafinha?
They're looking at everybody.
Yeah, everybody. So, but listen, guys, let's go around the room real quick. Any last words from anyone? Anything that you're hoping for this season in terms of transfers? Ty, we'll go around the horn. Ty?
No, I just want Koulibaly and Julius Koundé. Everybody else, I don't really care. Yeah, I kind of want Lewandowski, but so that's Tuchel's problem, not my problem.
I think you get Julius Koundé. I think that's a done deal, in my opinion. I think KK. His problem is not KK. The problem is that crazy owner.
That's slave owner.
That's slave owner. Seriously, that's the problem. Because we tried to get him 2 years ago. The guy's horrible to deal with. So you have to make it. I think KK himself has to make the move. He's got to push the move, or else he ain't gonna go. That guy.
Well, he only got 1 year left on the contract, so he said now free next season.
Yeah, he's got to go. Veta.
Man, it's the two players you mentioned. That's with no big exodus out of City, and we get those two. We lose Jesus. I don't want to lose Sterling this year, man. I think he's gonna cook with Haaland. I think those two are gonna be master chefs next season. So I want to see that happening. But Cucurella and Phillips, I think we get that, and we go for that push. So I'm gonna make sure that I stay connected with you two, Patrick, Carl. You guys are the guys in the know. I'm not trusting any of these crazy. None of these crazy tweets. If there's something that comes up, I'm gonna hit you guys with a DM. Yo, is this real? You guys let me know. That's verified. I'll move on. So I'll live a stress-free summer.
Patrick and I are not really in the know. All we do is we do a lot of analysis and we talk amongst ourselves, all of us here, about is it possible? Does it make sense? What's the potential? And we look for what we call third-party movements. For example, Tyler Adams at RB Leipzig. We know he's a defensive midfielder. We know that Jesse Marsch likes him. We know that he fits Jesse Marsch's system. If he begins to move and you see chatter that Calvin Phillips is close, because they're going to get a replacement first before you see Calvin Phillips move. So that's the kind of thought process that we have in place.
It's the same thing as Carl said, because you must remember when the Haaland thing, we spoke about it. Carl said Dortmund were talking a lot to that kid from Salzburg. Is he from Salzburg? The kid,
Yeah,
the young German kid. Yeah, they kept on talking to him, and Fab kept on saying, Dortmund are talking to this kid. So I was like, this kid is a striker. They're after him. Why would you want him? And then you've already another backup striker, Dortmund. Why do you want to bring in another striker? Like, you can tell, even the thing for Sancho, you could tell Sancho is going when Dortmund started promoting that other kid they have at RW, then started talking to other players to come in. Like right now, Leeds United have already started buying. They've already spent 18 million right now. And Carl is right. As soon as you just see them talking about a CDM or a CM or a box to box, just know Phillips is done. The same as Brighton. As soon as you just see Brighton start poking at a right back, I'll start spending money. Just know this is getting close. So that's the game you play. You just look at what the other club is doing. Because if you look at your club, Man City is always quiet. They just stay quiet. They don't care. They stay quiet. So it's the other side you look at. So I just wanted to say something. For me, as you always know, I have admired this player for so long. Some of you guys don't. But for me, if we get Adama Traore to Man City...
I'm trying to roll my eyes backwards, but it's not going backwards enough.
How many hands did you have before you said that?
No.
There's a dream of mine. There's a dream of mine that Traore can become a 4-back. Carl knows. I want him to become a 4-back. Him and Dan James were born to be 4-backs.
Patrick, is this the guy that played fullback for Barcelona recently that passed the ball to the opposing team to score? Right?
Pep is going to fix him. No, there's just something in my mind that tells me that Adama and Dan James were born to be 4-backs, not attacking. Anyway, I digress.
As a rival, please go and buy him.
Ade, what about you? Any last words, man? Before we... Sure.
Man, I'm worried about Chelsea, man. What? I'm worried about Chelsea, bro. Chelsea don't have no defenders, bro. Chelsea need help. Chelsea need help, man. They don't have no defenders right now. They lost all their defenders. They don't have a striker. Lukaku is like a signboard.
We're relying on God. We're relying on God.
My club is all right. City is fine, man. I'm worried about Chelsea. There's no striker. There are no defenders. They lost Aspi, Christensen, Rudiger. We need to talk about that. That's very, very important.
Yeah.
This is the same guy that was worried about Chelsea not being able to buy pencil or even buy lunch. So don't worry about it. Don't stress it.
I know, right? His Babalawo told him Hazard was leaving 4 years before he left.
That's my only concern. I'm really, really worried about Chelsea. They're going to be very depressed next season. And they'll be starting complaining. And next thing we know, they're going to be talking about Tuchel needs to go.
See, Ade, remember, you're the one that's having the hate speech now. So it's okay.
Hey, Paji, you have the last retort.
Ade, you're gone now. I think you're gone.
Yeah.
Yeah, Paji, go ahead.
Yeah, Ade was using his neighbor's Wi-Fi. That's why. Anyway.
No, I'm driving.
There we go. Yeah,
okay, so Ty already gave us the cake for defense. Me, I want the icing, Lewandowski. That's the icing I want. Yep. And
we'll see. I mean, there's time. We have 3 months left of the window. I'm excited about this season. We got so much football going on. We have preseason, we have Premier League, we have Champions League, we have the World Cup. And I don't know, Ty, I don't know how they're going to solve the Champions League last 3 games that happens in November, December, when the World Cup is here. Are they going to move it to January? I mean, how is that going to work? We're going to see all this stuff happen in the next couple of months. It's going to be fun. And I'm excited about what's going to happen.
Wait a minute. There's a comment here. Did anybody talk about Man United and Frankie de Jong and Ten Hag and the fact? By the way, guys, before we go, do you know that Ten Hag flew all the way to Portugal to meet Nunes and his agent, had coffee, and still got rejected? How can you do that? How can you get on the plane, go there, go talk to your man? Klopp did not. All Klopp did was a phone call. But Ten Hag, in his grey suit, which he's been wearing ever since he got employed at United, went to Portugal, spoke to Nunes, and failed. So are we? So this is what I want to ask on a serious note to the panel. Is United a serious club anymore, or is that badge dusted? Is it done?
Patrick, well, when you are not in Champions League, you have to fly, buy coffee, buy lunch, buy dinner.
Oh my God!
Get respected because you're not in Champions League. It's that simple.
Yeah.
I can't believe. I think that team is gone. It's that done.
See, Patrick, the last word from we talk about levels. This is what we're talking about. Okay, I mean the levels are just different. And Ty told me something a couple of weeks ago about United. United may not finish top 7 this season if they're not careful, because they don't get the right players. If they don't get the right players, they are going to struggle. They could really,
and I'd piggyback on that in terms. I got to say this too. Obviously, we got us, Liverpool, Chelsea did their thing, finishing top 3. If Tottenham, Arsenal, West Ham, if they don't see the opportunity here to strengthen and to keep Man U behind them this season, they're going to regret it. They all need to make sure that they power up to keep this happening, because they have a chance to make it a long journey for Man United.
And don't forget Newcastle.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Newcastle. And they're still buying. I hear they're still buying, and they're getting rid of some of the players. And another thing, Carl, I think you told me that. Is it you told me that Saint Maxime is not as good as people say he is? Was it you
him.
or Adam?
I like him too.
No. Nah. The only good thing about that guy is his Gucci hairband. And you know what?
Oh wow.
You know what I saw today? Some people are evil.
Patrick, quick question for you: Saint Maximus and Grealish, what's the difference?
Not. Oh, I can answer that. The other guy was wearing the Gucci band and never got the Gucci deal. The other guy got the Gucci deal. That's the difference.
Okay.
Okay.
I'll let this go watch the England game. Hey, guys out there, thank you for joining us. Big Morgan, Martin, Blue Channel, Charlie, everybody's out there. Thanks for joining us. Subscribe to everybody's channel. Beta Games, True City Fan TV, Pitch Points, ABL Fan Zone. Subscribe to our channels. We do this for fun. We'll be back in a couple of weeks again, maybe a week or two, to talk about more transfers. Till then, goodbye. God bless. Take care, guys.
All right.